Welcome back to Suns Valley Podcast, everybody. After a lengthy hiatus, sorry about that, by the way. Didn't want to have to do that, but we got hit with a visibility ban from YouTube and had to take some time off. But we're back, and there could be some big news on the horizon for the Phoenix Suns if they choose to go this direction. As you've probably heard by now, because Shams has reported it officially, the Memphis Grizzlies are shopping Ja Morant. I think at the beginning of this season, Sundo, you would tell people that and they'd be jumping over each other trying to get first in line to trade for Ja Morant to get him to the Phoenix Suns because we didn't expect to be so good this year so quickly, but we are, so that changes the math. However, Jalen Green hasn't been a part of this improved product. So we can't necessarily say you can't get rid of Jalen Green because that'll tinker with. No, it actually probably wouldn't. There's nothing there to tinker with yet. And Ja Morant is a similar, arguably better athlete at a position that the Suns seemed to have needed a lot more before the year. Now, you and I don't think they are hurting so bad for a point guard like we did before. But this is just a conversation that needs to be had. Are you, as Suns fans, and you, Sundo, willing to entertain Jalen Green being moved for Ja Morant? Because it would boil down to that. They wouldn't have conversations with us that didn't involve him, and the money is perfect to make it work. Are you interested at all in entertaining a Jalen Green for Ja Morant swap, or are you already too attached to a player that basically has never played for the Suns?
I wouldn't say I'm too attached to Jalen Green. I do like Jalen Green a lot, but I wouldn't say like I'm attached. Here's my thing with Ja Morant, bro. It's like, do you want to take the baggage that comes with Ja Morant? That's really what this comes down to. Like, I think comparable, at least in this system, they're going to be the same player for the most part. Like Ja Morant will probably drop a similar, stat line. I think Jalen Green will in this system. I don't think it would be that much of a difference. Jalen Green's 3 years younger, 2 years younger, so there's always that. The only thing that you can knock Jalen Green for right now is his health. Ja Morant is available for the most part, minus, what the Memphis is doing to hold him. But do you want to deal with the issues that come with Ja Morant, the past drama that's come with him, the issues, the driving around with guns, live streams, this and that? Like, I know Phoenix is quote unquote not a big market, but neither was Memphis, and that he still carried that sort of weight. You know what I mean? And that sort of gravity, if you will. So I think he'd do some of the similar things in Phoenix, especially if he doesn't get his way. He's going to have to play with Booker, and we'll see how that goes. I don't know if I'm willing to deal with that baggage, and he may not bring any. He may be cool if he gets here, but I don't know how I feel about it, honestly. Now, I think the package, as we've seen what Trae Young brought, and as we've seen what Luka brought last year, I think the trade market has reset. People are thinking, man, it's going to require a bunch of picks. I don't think so. I think it'll legit require Jalen Green and an add-on of Nick Richards to get this done. And I don't think that that's entirely a crazy move to make. It just really just depends on how you feel about Ja Morant. Do you think he brings more value? Do you think he'll bring less baggage? And do you think Jalen Green could potentially be better down the road if he stays healthy? I really honestly think it's a toss-up. But I don't want that baggage, honestly. And so I'll stick with Jalen Green. That's kind of my opinion on it. Also, as you mentioned, like the need for us to have a point guard isn't there anymore. Like we've seen how this team is going to play. We've seen the Gillespies, we've seen the Grey Gooses. Jamari Bouye has just been a big surprise for us on top of Booker, Green. Like you don't really need another guard. You need really a power forward for this team. So really you're just swapping a position that I think is a wash, and then you're going to get rid of Nick Richards, or a player like that. And if the Grizzlies really want to play hardball, and they may ask for a younger player, like they may ask for a Fleming or a Mile Watch or something like that, just to play hardball. I just personally don't think it's worth it at the end of the day. Really don't. Like what you're going to have to do. This team is well constructed. This team's playing well. I don't want to mess up that chemistry. Leave it how it is, dude.
This video is brought to you by our presenting sponsor, FanDuel. Sundo and I will be using FanDuel Sports all season for every bet and parlay, and so should you. Sign up today and start winning money on the Suns. I'm scared of the thought of doing this deal as well. It feels like gambling. It reminds me a little bit of moving Chris Paul for Bradley Beal when we shouldn't have, making a move too many because things are going so well. It's like, why try to fix something that isn't broke? But there we go again, equating the chemistry we have on this team and the run we're on to Jalen Green, when in reality, he's the only one that hasn't played. Like, the only player you could trade off of the Suns and not touch the chemistry aspect is Jalen Green. You couldn't even let NH Cheeks go. That would mess up the chemistry on court more because he's actually played than Jalen Green. So I'm not saying I want to. I'm just saying I don't think that that's an argument that's going to work in this situation. I think you just have to look at it as who's a better player. And in a vacuum, that's Ja Morant. And to begin this year, had you offered the two of us this deal, we're jumping on Ja Morant for Jalen Green. So I just don't know what to think.
Okay, you brought up chemistry on the court, but what about chemistry off the court? Like, Jalen Green has been traveling with his team while he's not playing, and he's been on the bench for a lot of these games while he's not playing. Like, you got to give him credit for that. Like, he's been with this team, he's been traveling with the team, he's been bonding with this team, he's been chilling with this team. You can see how excited he gets on the bench. Like, I get a sense that he's actually all in on this team and the culture. So I'm going to play devil's advocate to that. Like, sure, Ja Morant may be the better player, but I talked about the drama. Do you think Ja Morant's going to contribute to that? Do you think Ja Morant's going to buy into the vision and what this team's trying to do? I personally don't think so. Now, he does have history with Dylan Brooks, right? They have played together before, so there is that. I don't think the team would be that against him being on the team. I think some of the dudes will kind of understand, like, yeah, we made a trade and Ja Morant's a good player, yada, yada, yada. But again, like, this season, in this vacuum of a season, Jalen Green's been here and he's been with the team. He's been traveling. Like, they seem to really like him. In the small sample size when he played, the team was rallied around him and he's been there. I'm not sure if I want to give that up, honestly. Like, I think that that's very important. I think that's more important than just swapping talent for talent. I think being here through the ebb and flows of a season is more valuable than that.